Back in Seattle, some bad news from the pits. The Holstein Miss Madison is withdrawn.
We worked all night Friday night. We took two engines. We had lost here. One we'd lost here and one we'd lost in Pasco. Took them over to Jerry Kenny's shop, and I'd like to thank him for that, which is a very nice shop. We worked till about 1:30 trying to get them two, and we found that they were both destroyed too bad to resurrect. We was trying to take two and make one, and we couldn't do that, so we came here with one player. We came out with four, lost two in Pasco and two here. So it's bad luck and terrible thing, but we done the best we could.
Well, we hope to see him soon. Meanwhile, there's Snoopy down in the cockpit with Todd Yarling. That was given to him by a young man named J.R. Parr, who just had brain cancer surgery. So a good luck piece for Todd Yarling. Here's the 7-Eleven driver, Steve Reynolds, getting buttoned in. And Todd Yarling, along with Snoopy, heads out onto the course. The Miller American with 400 points. And, of course, out to get as many points as possible is the 7-Eleven. They need them to get into the final after no points in 1A. The rundown for 2A, Miller American, etc. on down the line. Out of the north turn, here come the boats. The Mr. Pringles in the near foreground, and now here comes the start as we have 5 boats coming down for the beginning of Heat 2A. Everybody's right on the button. Here they come, right down Broadway. Into the south turn. On the inside, the Miller American, the Kenny Unlimited on lane number 2 with Milner Irvin, a great driver, and he can certainly stay up with a hot boat if he's got the power behind him. On the way outside is the Mr. Pringles. You saw Scotty Pierce go by, but holding on, hugging the buoys is Miller American. This is Linda Reynolds, the wife of Steve Reynolds in the 7-Eleven, and where is it? It's got to get at least 300 points, really 400, to ensure itself a spot into the final. Miller American in first place. A cakewalk for the Miller, it looks like right now. A good lead for Chip Hanauer as he goes into the north turn. The water's settling down somewhat, even though there's a lot of air under that boat. There's the perspective. Second place is the Kenny Unlimited. And in lane number 2, it looks like out in third place is the 7-Eleven, along with the Mr. Pringles on the outside. Good race for third and fourth, but the 7-Eleven, as Linda Reynolds watches on, her husband Steve Reynolds in that boat has got to get into at least second place and try to get 300 points to make the final. Back to the Miller American in first place, and Chip Hanauer racing in front of many of his hometown fans, many relatives. Second place, Milner Irvin and the Frank Kenny Unlimited. That was the Budweiser last year, and for many years in the past, it is now being powered by an Allison turbocharged engine rather than those big Griffin engines. In second place currently is the Kenny Unlimited. This is the Kenny now. Look, coming around the outside. There's the 7-Eleven knocking on the door as he goes down the back chute. Still in third place, but Milner Irvin putting on a good battle. In first place, the Miller American. Still with 400 points. Could get another 400 here and have 800 for the day. Trying to keep pace with the Budweiser in the national points race. A great battle for second and third. 7-Eleven still on the outside. Here's Reynolds leaving room now for Milner Irvin to stay in lane number 1. Look at the chop. You got 4-foot rollers in there. 7-Eleven on the outside. Taking second place away from the Frank Kenny Unlimited is the 7-Eleven. Here they come down the main straightaway. Speeds for the Miller American, 119, 119, 120, 3 miles per hour in the last 3 laps. So the Miller American not slowing down whatsoever and holding on to first place, with the 7-Eleven moving into second place, hoping that will be enough points to somehow get into the final run for the money at the end of the day. They have tried a number of things to the engines of this 7-Eleven boat, trying to get more power. He has been racing with about 85% of the total power that it should be putting out, and they are getting ever so close to finally getting the boat dialed in. Here's the Cellular One with 225 points, hoping to get another 225 possibly. We'll wait and see. But the Miller American cruising along. Again, a beautiful shot with a 45-to-1 land at the lot of glass. We're zooming in on these boats as they come around the north turn. The 7-Eleven with the enclosed canopy. And back to Milner Irvin in the Frank Kenny Unlimited. The Miller American, you see the Lake Washington floating bridge in the background. That is a familiar sight for hydroplane fans around the country. They've been racing these boats here for over 35 years. In fact, this is the town where the 3-point hydroplane configuration was created by Ted Jones, Stan Sayers and company back in the late 40s. The 7-Eleven again with that enclosed cockpit, which is out of an F-16 fighter. And there's the third place boat, Milner Irvin and the Frank Kenny Unlimited. Chip Hanauer coming around one more time. His father, Stan Hanauer, down in the pits watching his son race. The two of them started here in this town back when he was only 12 years old. He was on a paper route, raising enough money to buy his first hydroplane, a little K-class boat. And now look at him, one of the top drivers in the world. And this man, Steve Reynolds, another outstanding driver. You give him the right tools, and he'll do a lot of things for you out on that course. He hugs the buoys as well as anybody, much like Bill Muncy did when he was driving. Linda Reynolds hoping that her husband, Steve, can somehow pull out some magic to get enough points to make it into that final. Again, Chip Hanauer, let's face it, he's had an easy day. The machinery has not been pushed at all. Steve Reynolds seems happy to go for the 300 points in second place, hoping that's enough to get into that final. And for the final time around the North Turn in Heat 2A is the Miller American. Hanauer having an easy time of it as he comes down the straightaway for the last time. An average speed of 120 miles per hour, a little bit more than that. Another 400 points for the Miller American, 800 for the day. And looking at the numbers, Miller American, a perfect afternoon. The 7-Eleven, we don't know if that'll be enough points or not. Likewise for the Frank Kenny. Let's go down to the 7-Eleven camp.
It's too early to tell until run, till 2B, but you might just be in the final.
Well, we went out to, yeah, I'm fine, Doc, thanks. We went out to run as hard as we could run. I mean, I didn't leave anything left. We're still short a few miles per hour, but, you still, if it's enough to get us into the final heat, then we accomplished what we wanted to do, which was come here and race.
Okay, Don?
Chipper, you've had a great day. You haven't had to work hard on the machinery at all so far.
Well, yeah, we've been lucky in the draws as far as being able to run easy, but national points-wise, that hurts us, because if we stand any chance at all of narrowing that gap on Jim Cropfield, we need to race him. If we win our heat and he wins his, it's a push.
Well, plus, you really haven't had to go that hard to know what it's going to be like in this water, I suppose.
Well, I can just assume that it's going to be rough and that the guys are going to make me go harder. That's the safe assumption.
Looking ahead, and we know that the Budweiser will be in here, are you going to try to get them on your outside hip like normal? We've seen that so many times.
Yeah, I don't know that that's the way to go here. I think the way the race course is laid out and the roughness here, I don't know that's the way to go.
Okay. We'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, hang on.
And I would love to have a suntan concession stand out on the beach. I'd be a rich man. Back in a minute. Back to Seattle, Tom Deeth of the Squire Shop wears two different scarves on his hands. Let's get an explanation from him. The red scarf on your hand, is that for good luck?
No, the red's for experience, the blue is for luck.
All right, well, you got 300 points. Just a matter of finishing. You should be in good shape for the final.
Well, we're going to do the best we can to get the Deeth Squire Shop in the final, and then we're going to go for the money.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Go for the money. That's what the Squire Shop wants to do. And let's take a look at the rundown now for Heat 2B, our final preliminary. The Bud, the Squire Shop, and three other boats that need points. Here we go with the start. The Squire Shop and Tom Deeth right on the button as he goes down the main straightaway in first place. Where's the Budweiser? Just went by on the inside. Looks like we have only three boats running right now. The Oboy Alberto on the far left. The inside on the far right is the Budweiser, and the Squire on the inside. Jim Cropfield out of Cincinnati, Ohio, rocking and rolling into that south turn. There goes the Squire Shop. Oboy Alberto and George Johnson in third place. Again, the perspective giving you the lead. Better than a rooster tail lead already for the Budweiser. Cropfield is moving down the back straightaway. We've got to get a time on him. He is really hauling. We have one of the boats dead in the water, Mike Hansen, and the AA Auto Supply as the Budweiser goes around the north turn. Look at the ride of this boat. You can see the wings shaking in the back as it comes around, rumbling around and heading down the main straightaway. Oh, again, getting up on the nose a little bit is Cropfield and the Bud. Let's get a time. It's got to be around 125. Let's see as he comes past the finish line. 126.3 miles per hour. Almost another record for Cropfield. He and Hanauer just keep going back and forth, laying down records all over the country, for that matter. George Johnson, the Oboy Alberto, laboring along, hoping to get some more points and possibly get into the final. They were black flagged earlier for not maintaining a plane in an earlier heat. But again, the Budweiser and Jim Cropfield with 400 points already. He has not met the Miller American yet today. And any time that they meet head-on, it's going to have a large bearing on the national points race because they are separated by only 531 points at this stage. Here's the Oboy Alberto again, George Johnson, who drove the executive telephone. boat 2 years ago, and then Scotty Pierce drove it last year. He is driving it this year, but under the Mr. Pringles name. The Budweiser and that F-16 fighter canopy over Kraftfeld, who is also breathing off an air system of compressed air, as well as a cool suit, a cool liquid being pumped around him through his racing jacket to keep him cool inside there. That's one of the biggest problems with an enclosed cockpit, is trying to stay cool. Bernie Little, one of the innovators in the enclosed cockpit system, going for safety and then later going for speed. Last year, they really dedicated the Budweiser team to safety for their driver, Jim Kraftfeld, and now they're working on performance, and they're doing ever so well as they are the national point leaders. Tommy Deeth, as you saw, around the south turn, and again, the O'Boy Alberto really laboring now, but trying to hold on and somehow get 225 points. Only 3 boats running, so if he can finish, he'll get at least 225. The checkered flag waiting for the Budweiser with an average speed of better than 117 miles per hour. That's about the same speeds he was going at in Heat 1A. Jim Kraftfeld, 400 points, a perfect 800-point day, and now we'll meet the Miller American in the final. Likewise for this boat, Tom Deeth and the Squire Shop. And third place, oh my, they've lost a turbo, it looks like, and look at the smoke pouring out of the O'Boy Alberto. Boy, they are cooking up some kind of smoked sausage today. Oh, my goodness sakes. I think he'll finish. I'm not sure if anyone will see it, though. Here are the results. The Budweiser on a roll. Likewise for the Squire Shop, the O'Boy Alberto did indeed get its points. No such luck for the AA Auto Parts. Down to the Budweiser camp.
Jimmy, you look kind of tired after that last heat victory. What's happening?
Well, the water's very rough out there. We made some changes in the Budweiser and got her up where I think it's really raceable now, so I just took it easy that time, and the slower I go, the harder I ride.
It shaped up to be a fast heat, but last week was too, and then you couldn't get it started. I don't think you want any repeats of that.
No, I want to go out and race against Chip and all the other guys. That's why I'm here, and I haven't raced Chips since Evansville, and that's a long time.
And the Budweiser crew has a little repair work to do again on that left sponson. Another hole in there, but they'll have time to get ready for the final.
Look, even the paint
We will
failed.
return to Seattle and the Emerald Cup in just a moment.
This is the High Performance Corner, a closer look at the fastest race boats in the world.
This week we're breaking away from the hydroplanes for our High Performance Corner. You talk about high performance, you can't beat the Blue Angels. A major part of the Seattle celebration every year. And words simply can't describe the beauty and precision of this team. Well, let's watch. Fantastic show. And here's a rundown of the final for today. Again, that big meeting between the Miller American and the Budweiser, along with the Squire Shop, Mr. Pringles, 7-Eleven, and the Frank Kenny Unlimited. All this and more